Hi everyone. I haven't really thought this out completely how I'm going to say all this. But I just wanted to go through the symptoms of POTS for me. I just want to state as well this isn't for not everybody with POTS have these symptoms. We're all different. We all experience different symptoms. So these are just my symptoms. So I get tachycardia when standing, sometimes when sitting. We also get it when I'm unwell as well. My heart rate will spike. I get chest pain now and then. When I first got diagnosed with POTS, I was getting it a lot, and that seems to have settled now. I get brain fog. I'm not able to think properly. So I suffer with low blood volume, and as far as I'm aware, quite a lot of people with POTS do suffer with low blood volume. But mine gets to the stage where it comes really low, to the stage I can't function, and I have to have IV fluid through Hickman's line. So I have about 2 to 3 litres of IV fluid go through that on that day if I'm really bad. I know in the UK they don't like using the IV fluid for POTS in the UK, unless in a crisis, but my mum's trained, I'm trained, my stepdad's trained in putting the fluid up for me. So we get it prescribed from the GP as well. So when my blood volume's really low, I will go down the IV fluid route. My temperature regulation sucks. So basically, I don't feel the cold. I could be out in the cold, and my arms, my hair's on sticking up, showing that I'm cold. But it's like my brain don't physically. It's not telling me properly that I'm cold. Although you can see from the outside my body's cold, but I'm not cold. It's hard to explain. So I'm not shaking. I got goosebumps, but I'm not cold. It's like it's not sending the signals to my brain to tell me to feel cold. If that makes sense. I also sweat way too much. The heat is a big issue for me. I sweat with just the slightest bit of heat. So summertime is really bad for me. I have loads of IV fluids in the summertime. But yeah, so sweating's a big problem with me. Because obviously I'm sweating, I'm losing fluid, and I'm losing blood volume, so I need IV fluid more regularly when I'm hot. Dizziness, I'm sure everybody knows that with POTS. Passing out, so before I was diagnosed, I started passing out. That's why we went in the process of getting diagnosed with POTS. For the first couple of years before I became bedbound, I was passing out a lot, all the time with the POTS. It was really bad. But now, I've gotten worse. I'm with EDS, which I'll do another video on. I'm now bedbound, so passing out doesn't really happen now with me. It's mainly just seizures, which I'll do another video about as well at some point. I get a lot of headaches, so I get like a pressurized feeling in my head. Headaches as well. Really painful headaches, and the pressure is awful. So yeah, it's not something I get a lot, but I do suffer with them. So I have a suprapubic catheter. That's because my bladder doesn't work. I was first incontinent with my bladder going back about 5 years ago, and then I was incontinent for about 6 months. I was wearing pads, and then I started to retain. It's like switched completely over to retention then. So I ended up having a urethra catheter in for 6 months, and they realised it's the POTS not sending the signals properly. So I now have a suprapubic catheter because this is going to be with me for life because the signals are just messed up. There is partly to do with the EDS as well, why my bladder don't work, but the main problem is the signals with the POTS to the bladder. I have coat hanger pain, so like sitting like this, eventually I will get pain up here at the back where I don't know much about it. I just know it's called coat hanger pain, and I think it's where the blood and the oxygen doesn't get to the top of the muscles to get that ache. Nausea, feel sick quite often, especially when I'm busy, like sitting up in my wheelchair. I've done a lot in the day. I feel quite sick, so I get that quite a lot. So I also get tummy pain. So this is to do with the POTS and EDS. The POTS wise is that I don't know really. I'm not sure what happens with POTS, but I know my EDS, I'm not explaining it all in another video about EDS, but it doesn't digest all my food and go through properly. I have some sleep problems, so some nights I can't sleep. I'm very, juddery. I keep moving about, moving my feet, rubbing them together. I think it's an adrenaline type thing, which people do get at POTS. Yeah, and I am unable to walk because of POTS now. Well, partly because of POTS. It's not all due to POTS, but that is a big part, because I stand up, I pass out, heart rate goes up, and it's just too unsafe for me. But there is more going on with me than just POTS, which I'll explain in our video. But that's one of the reasons why I'm bedbound now and can't stand up. It's just too unsafe. I've been told that I've got quite severe POTS to be just bedbound, wheelchair bound. I'm not able to stand. So that is all my main symptoms from what I can really think of. So that's my main symptoms. But I just want to go through the medications I'm on for the POTS. So I'm on bisoprolol, which is a beta blocker. I'm on the top dose of that. So that's helped a huge amount to reduce my heart rate, especially sitting down and laying down. I'm on pyridostigmine. I think that helps with the heart rate as well. I know it works on the nervous system as well. I take Desmo spray. So Desmo spray is 2 sprays up nose for me anyway. It's 200 micrograms. That helps by stop my fluid coming out so quickly. So what I drink, so I retain fluid in the bloodstream to help with the blood volume for the POTS, to keep me going and not feeling so groggy and rubbish. I am on, what else am I on for POTS? I'm on a bunch of medications, but not all of them are for POTS. Sodium chloride tablets, so slow sodium. I'm on them. I take 5 in the morning, 5 at night. And obviously I have the PRN saline go through the fluid, IV fluid if needed. I think the medication is doing its job. It does work, but unfortunately it's not good enough. I can stand up or doing what I used to do in life. I think the Desmo spray for me is a massive game changer. I'm able to go out more in my wheelchair with the Desmo spray, because obviously we're retaining that fluid. So that has helped a hell of a lot for me, and I would definitely ask your doctors about it, because it's made a huge difference to my life. Definitely talk to your doctor about it. It's it is used for POTS, but it's not licensed for POTS. It can't be used for POTS, but it's definitely helped me a lot. And obviously the bisoprolol's helped a lot as well, reducing heart rate, and it's done an amazing job. But I'm still not able to walk and stand, partly because of the POTS. That's really my symptoms. The type of meds I'm on just for POTS. I'm on a lot of other medication for other things, but the meds I've just said, like Desmo spray, bisoprolol, pyridostigmine, slow sodium, is purely just for the POTS, and the IV fluid as well. That's all for the POTS stuff. Please let me know about your symptoms for POTS. Have you got any similar symptoms? I know obviously tachycardia, the dizziness is quite normal. With POTS, it's one of the main symptoms we all get. But what other symptoms do you get as well? So please let me know down below, and please drop a like and subscribe. I will do another video soon about my EDS and how it affects me, and I'll also do a video of why I became bedbound at some point, and I will do a video about my seizures, because my seizures are very unique. They're not your normal epilepsy, and they're not your normal non-epileptic seizures. I still have to have rescue medications like injections and vagal nerve stimulators, when usually a non-epileptic seizure you wouldn't usually treat that at the time. But my sort of meds what I have do throw doctors off a lot, because they're not even used for an epileptic seizure. They're actually more used for like cardiac arrest. But yes, it's very complex, and that'll be a complex thing to explain, but I will do it for you guys. But yeah, so they're all my symptoms, what I explained for my POTS, what I experience anyway, and the medications I take for the POTS. But yeah, I think that's all my symptoms. I think the worst ones, what are the worst for me, are the head pressure, the sweating, and the fact I can't stand up. That's a really big issue. And obviously the low blood volume is a really big issue for me as well, because I've had to have a Hickman's line in now because of the fluid I need a lot. I need it a lot. And my veins have been getting destroyed, so another reason why the Hickman line went in. And I'm really grateful that my mum and stepdad, me, are trained to put up the fluid. It's not something you see that much in the UK. Well, I haven't anyway. And especially for POTS as well. But yeah, so I think another big thing is the way my bladder doesn't work as well. I've got a suprapubic catheter, which means I've got a tube out and out of my belly all the time. So that's affected me quite a lot. But I just carry on, do as best I can, and live as best as I can. I'm on all the right medications. Every day's different. But I can't really do much about. I don't want to dwell on it. Basically, I think dwelling on it doesn't help. But yeah, so they're my symptoms. There's the medications for my POTS. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if I'm so over the place, because I don't really plan on what to say. Gone off the top of my head really. But yeah, appreciate you listening. Please like and subscribe. And leave any comments below if you want to ask anything, or leave any comments about your symptoms, what medication helps for you. And I look forward to making another one about my EDS and my seizures and why I'm bedbound, because of the POTS and other stuff in the future. Appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, and be back soon.